It is accurate to state that narcissists operate in three essential states. There are varying degrees within those states, differing levels of intensity, which are affected by factors such as the type of narcissist that we are, the school, what we require from you, the level of empathic individual that you are, as well as several others. Nevertheless, there are three basic states. The first, as you would expect, is the golden setting. During the golden period, when you are being seduced and embedded, we are at our most wonderful, most brilliant, and most loving when in this state. This always appears during our seduction of you, and we will reinstate it from time to time through a respite period, and often when we hoover you in a benign fashion in order to draw fuel from you and to suck you back in and keep you hanging on to us. The second period is the dark setting, when we instigate our devaluation of you. This dark setting allows us to deploy our various machinations against you, a variety of different manipulations as the abuse begins, and we make your life particularly unpleasant. This requires effort and energy on our part, and whilst we will be rewarded with fuel, a certain degree of application is required to use these manipulations against you. When we unveil our dark setting, it is upsetting and confusing, but often you will find some reason to explain our behaviour. It's usually the wrong reason, but you will find one nevertheless, because as an empathic individual, you're a truth seeker, and you must have a reason behind why someone is behaving in a certain way towards you. You erroneously decide that the narcissist is stressed, tired, hungover, in need of affection, or perhaps then you are, more usually, unduly harsh on yourselves, so that you, in the usual self-flagellating empathic manner, blame yourself for the behaviour we have meted out against you. Perhaps you did not listen when you ought to have done. Perhaps you should have realised that we wanted to go out tonight, or that we would not want to eat chicken for the second time this week. There is a third setting, and this often proves more confusing than our unpleasant dark setting. This setting might be regarded as a neutral setting, somewhere between the golden and the dark of devaluation, but it's not. This setting is part of the dark setting and is closer to that than the golden. You're on the road to the dark setting of devaluation. This particular setting is the stranger setting. There will be times when the narcissist instinctively does not apply considerable energy to the continued devaluation of you, but your devaluation must happen all of the same. It may not be as harsh, since there is no shouting, no violence, no insults, and such like. It is not the golden period because we show no affection. We do not do things for you, and we do not exhibit any of the charm that once flowed so readily from us. During this stranger setting, we are neither wonderful nor awful, but we behave like someone who doesn't really know you, and you are certainly left feeling like you are dealing with somebody else. If you telephone us, we will not dole out a silent treatment and ignore your repeated calls. We will not answer in less than a ring and speak to you with affection and enthusiasm. Instead, we answer and engage in a monosyllabic conversation. It is like drawing teeth. We confirm that nothing is wrong, and you may think there is, but we have not responded angrily or harshly. We have not accused you of anything. We have not labelled you in some way, but the conversation is flat. It is as if our personality, whether golden or dark, has vanished, and left almost an automaton in its place. We function. We talk about our day, but with little detail and certainly no enthusiasm. We ask questions of you, but they are polite and perfunctory, as if we are just going through the motions. There is no nastiness, no backbiting or sneering. It is difficult to process because it is not nothing. That cannot be the case because we are talking to you, but it feels like nothing. We may call around to see you, but it feels like an inspector has called around. We sit, we decline a drink that you offer us. We answer your questions without offering you anything much in return. Where's the charmer gone? Where's the monster gone? Who is this stranger that looks like us, sounds like us, but is not behaving like us? You cannot accuse us of being unpleasant, but it feels unpleasant, because you are dealing with someone you do not recognize. Any questions about what is wrong with us are politely answered, and you are assured that there is not a problem, but we seem lifeless. You flatter us, compliment us, and whilst we accept them, there is no spark of interest. There is no response. Why are we like this? Why is this being done? Why do we seem like someone else? It is as if we have been abducted by aliens in the night and replaced with a robot, which is neither wonderful nor savage, but is frustratingly something else. This third setting occurs during the devaluation period. It is not a respite from devaluation, as that is the golden setting once more. It is clearly not the dark setting, as that is the running out of nastiness and abuse. This third setting is an indicator of the calm before the storm. Whilst there are occasions where we might switch from golden to dark setting in the blink of an eye, this third setting is used for when the narcissist instinctively wishes to conserve energy in readiness for unleashing a particular savage next stage in the devaluation, as we move to the dark setting and crank it up to 11. You are not cruising along being driven by fair winds, nor are you being thrown up and down buffeted by a storm. Instead, you are becalmed, or moved along slightly, by the weakest of breezes. This is the time that we are girding our loins, instinctively gathering information, and with the greater, plotting. The switch of our functions to the organisation and scheming of what is to come, along with the intense outpouring of energy required to sustain the vicious intensifying of this devaluation, means we adopt this near automatic state. You may not ever see this happen, dependent on the nature of the narcissist you have become entangled with, but when you do, you should be aware that a storm is brewing, and not just any old storm, but a supercell storm of savage and damaging proportions. This is a warning.